To Hastings now, where the first witnesses have been called in the trial of a former Major League Baseball player, Chad Curtis. Curtis is facing 6 counts of criminal sexual conduct. He stands accused of inappropriately touching female students while he was a volunteer at Lakewood High School in Woodland. 24-Hour News 8's Heather Walker was in the courtroom today following every development, and she's live in Hastings tonight. Heather.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, it was an emotional 4 hours today in court. Court's now out, but there was lots of tears in the courtroom from those listening to testimony from the stand as they were testifying. But the family of Chad Curtis actually seemed emotionless as this was all being uncovered, as we were hearing new details from one of the 3 alleged victims. We learned today that she was a high school student at the time and was an athlete. She admitted that she kept what happened a secret because her best friend was the defendant's daughter at the time. The alleged victim talked about 2 different times when Chad Curtis allegedly touched her chest, under her bra, and other places, even kissing her body. All the alleged acts took place in a training room inside Lakewood High School, and all the alleged victims were students at the time. In the opening statements, the prosecution talked about how Chad Curtis used his status as a substitute teacher and weightlifting supervisor to gain access to young girls. The defense tried to show inconsistencies in the alleged victims' recounts of what happened.
This trial is going to be about how the defendant betrayed their trust.
I didn't think it was any big deal. But when I told my youth pastor about it, the youth pastor thought, well, that's something as though it was some major event.
So once again, the prosecution talking about how this is going to be a trial about mistrust, and these girls, they trusted this man and he used that in order to do the alleged acts. And then the defense then on the other side saying that, wait a second, after the first victim said, after what happened to the first victim, she went to her youth pastor and said, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and then apparently wanted to talk about it after the pastor said that it was. Anyway, this is all going to last about a week. In the next few days, we're going to hear from the 2 other alleged victims, and we'll also see some text messages between Curtis and one of the alleged victims. For now, live in Hastings, Heather Walker, 24-Hour News 8.